If you want to make fabulous gluten-free food, you need to learn a little bit about the properties and uses of the different gluten-free flours available. That's what I'm going to tell you about in this video for almond flour and quinoa flour. I've been teaching cooking classes for 10 years, so I know you can make the foods that you love gluten-free. So first, almond flour. Almond flour is sold at the grocery store in the baking aisle called ground almonds, and it's ground blanched almonds, so they've had the skins removed. And you can also buy it as almond flour in the flour section or maybe in a health food store. It's so it has a bit of texture, not like a powdery flour, and so it's kind of yellow and even color like that. Almond flour is high in fat, protein, and fiber, so it's healthy. It has a mild sweet flavor and it adds richness to baked goods. It's grain-free. Of course, it's a nut. It's not nut-free. And it's more costly than other gluten-free flours, and it should be stored in the fridge or used before the expiry date. It's used in cakes, muffins, quick breads, and cookies. I use it in my cookie flour blend that I make sometimes, and I'll put the recipe and also a link below in the description for that. Quinoa flour. Quinoa flour is made from the quinoa grains. You might cook quinoa on the stove like you would use rice. So they've been finely ground to a powder. So you can see here it's quite powdery and again a bit of an off or an ivory color, you might say. It has a nice nutty flavor, but it also has a bitterness to it. So sometimes if you're licking the bowl from something you're baking, you taste that bitterness, but it goes away when it's baked. Quinoa flour can be used in some recipes alone, but it can also be used in combination with starches for a lighter final product. The grind can vary from manufacturers as well. It is a grain, so it's not a grain-free flour. It's not recommended for yeast breads, and it is also on the expensive side compared to other gluten-free flours. I use quinoa alone in some cookie recipes and brownie recipes, and I'll put links to all of that below. So that's it, quinoa flour and almond flour. I'm Cindy, the Everyday Gluten-Free Gourmet, sharing tips and recipes from my kitchen for more everyday cooking in yours.